The hype is real. The hype is fucking real. So, the hype is real. What am I referring to here? Nintendo says that the CES Consumer Electronics Show 2025 Switch 2 videos and images are not official, quote unquote. Now, I kind of knew this would happen. I'm going to say this, okay? Let me say this before I get into my thoughts and feelings. There's nothing wrong with the next Nintendo console hybrid, if it is going to be that. I do think that it's going to be my personal feeling, it's going to be a combination of the Wii U slash Nintendo DS capabilities. The reason why I say that is because the dual screen had worked so well for the DS that it's the Nintendo DS, the little portable after the Game Boy Advance, sold so many units, sold the most units, I think, of all the handhelds. Okay? But I also think it'll be a Switch Advanced to put a pun on the Game Boy Advance. There's nothing wrong with it, and anybody who wants to buy it, save up for it. You're going to buy 3 PS5s. It's your money. You could buy the next Xbox. You could buy the next PlayStation. You could buy a Quintacore PC or an Ally, ROG Ally, or another Steam Deck, OLED Steam Deck. Whatever you want to buy is your money. You can buy. You have the energy. I just don't have the energy, and I'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, it's there's nothing to see here, Nintendo says. So that's where we're at. I know everybody's been looking at this Nintendo of Japan's banner. Meanwhile, America's got the Donkey Kong. Yay, Donkey Kong. This image is from an article. Nintendo Switch leaks, and here's why. Here's why, because the hype. I type the hype is real, but not necessarily the system. And there's been fake videos out there. Vinny Vinesauce did a narrative on the Smell-O-Vision, which, by the way, PlayStation is trying to patent the Smell-O-Vision. I'm like, okay, how are you going to do that? Is it like air freshener capsules in your Joy-Cons? How does that work? You just it heats up the little balls in there. You could smell something out of your Joy-Con or your controller. What is that? How does that work? Now, I am 40. I'm going to be 47 this year. Okay. I have my very first system was not even my system. It was my youngest sister who was born in 71. She is going to be 54 this year. And it was the Atari 2600. And I played Tomitronics, right? There's like the 3D Tomitronics with the 3D binoculars. And I played Waterfalls and card games and board games like Candyland and Scrabble and Monopoly. Then I moved on to the like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Super Nintendo, then the Nintendo 64. But before that, I got the Virtual Boy. Oh, remember the Virtual Boy. And then I got the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, the Dreamcast, the GameCube, right? The GameCube. And then after the Game Boy Advance and GameCube, I got the Xbox 360, which turned to a brick, the Wii, right, and the Nintendo 3DS, and Nintendo new Nintendo 3DS, and the PS Vita, then the Nintendo Switch, Wii U, because I got an old system and I downloaded stuff onto that, and then finally the Steam Deck. So at this point in my life, this is the name of this video is the Switch the Switch 2, Switch 2.0, Switch Squared, Switch Pico, Switch Evolved, whatever they're going to call it. Everybody keeps saying it should be Switch 2, it should be Switch 2. Fuck off trying to call it Switch 2. I don't know what they're going to call it. Nintendo has never put a numeral number at the end of any of their stuff. Have you ever heard of Game Boy 2? No, they call it the Game Boy Color. Have you ever heard of NES 2? No, they call it the Super NES. Not even Famicom 2. They call it the Super Famicom. Okay? They never called it DS2. You had 2DS, but you had 3DS, right? You didn't have Wii 2, you had Wii U. Okay? So I'm saying this because PlayStation puts numbers on their systems. I don't think Nintendo's going to put a number. They could put an exponential number 2, like Squared, or something else. Switch Pico, Switch Toki, Switch Kawaii, Switch or Swatch. Well, Swatch is patented, right? I think it'll be like a little powerful, almost like a Steam Deck. Maybe 75% is 75% of the Steam Deck power, like 3/4 Steam Deck, right? But a Wii U, so that when you dock it, it's a second screen, or you can make it just one screen when you dock it or when you play it on the go. All right. So that's my feeling about it. I I have so many games, board games, card games, electronic games, and games from the 70s to now. If I want cowboy games, I can get Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Steam Deck or RDR1 on Switch. I have Hogwarts. I have space games like Mass Effect. I have Pac-Man. I have Mario. I have Metroidvanias. I can get Metroidvanias on the Switch. I can get any game. I'm going to get Omega 6 that Imamura Sensei made onto either the Switch or the Steam Deck. Okay, I went through losing my bank account in a phishing scam, to ensure that I would have a place to purchase that Steam Deck. Somehow I got scammed in the middle of trying to purchase the Steam Deck with my card. So that took a lot out of me mentally. I just don't feel like buying a new system. Now, I will get Metroid Prime 4. Now, as far as surplus, years later, getting the next Nintendo Switch or the next Nintendo system, okay? I will probably get something later. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just be over this. I think I'm over most of this. I don't think I could really get into getting the next Nintendo console, the next PlayStation console, the next Xbox console. I think I saw something that the next Xbox has got a new handheld of some kind. I don't know if this has been community noted or not. But, they keep talking about this 2. They could call it the Switch Ni, which is also the number 2. The Switch Duo, like the dynamic duo. They'll call it something else. They've never put a number at the end of anything like that. They've never done it. Why would they start now? But, here's all the leaks. And Nintendo has to deny. Xbox handheld will offer the best of console and PC put together, says Microsoft. More information is coming in 2025 for the Consumer Electronics Show. So already, like, Xbox has, remember Zune? Zune, remember that? But I think I'm done. I think I'm done with buying new consoles. Like I said, I'm not against buying the next Nintendo system in surplus. But surplus is a long way off. Surplus would be in the late 20s, early 2030s. I just don't care. I just feel like I'm overwhelmed. They get it more expensive. I have enough games to last me a while. I don't need more. I don't desperately need more. Like, we've explored open world games to death. We've explored indie games to death. I'm ready for the next big thing for myself. Silverhawks is coming in comic book form. The first, besides there's figures, right? But the stories are coming back after 35 years. Remember Conquer? Remember Young Conquer? After Sonic, all they had to do was like redesign Conquer and then perfect the AR program, and Conquer would have been the first AR platformer. After all the stuff that we saw, where was that? We're not going to see that. So that's all I have to say about Nintendo Switch 2, 2.0, whatever they're going to call it. I don't need to talk anymore about it. I'm happy for anybody who wants to buy it, but I'm just at my age and just the rate of everything coming out, I can just buy older games. I don't need to do this. Nintendo's just going to shut down the store and redesign a new store because they're corporations. Preserving games is more important. Holding on to games like Star Fox 2, like the one I have, the beta version, is more important. I don't really need this. I don't personally need this. I understand why everybody's into it and buying it, but the hype is just too much. So until then, I'm happy with what I've got, and I'm going to discover the next big thing on my own, whether it's video game, comic book related or not. All right, see ya.